And welcome everybody to another show of the Relationship Party with your boy Rod and your girl Charmaine. And guys, this is another amazing episode we have because we're gonna be talking about the joys of marriage. Now, I know some of y'all out there may not have experienced marriage in and of itself, or even the goodness of marriage. But we're gonna talk about some of the joys of what it's like to being married. So, with that being said, Charmaine.
What I got? What I got? Listen, the reason why I wanted to bring up this topic, and thank y'all so much for being here, and congratulations on your new marriage. I'm so
Thank you,
excited
thank
about
you.
that. Um, but the reason why I wanted to bring up this topic is because I'm seeing so much negativity of what the man is not doing, what the woman is not doing, and people are just kind of fed up. So
Mhm,
I think people's tolerance levels are short. And what I also think is that they're selling themselves short.
mm,
I think everybody's getting so angry and so disinterested, they're forgetting about how wonderful marriage is
mm.
and really what it's for. That's my first thing. So, being married, I can tell y'all now that Pretty Woman, he didn't marry her, right? But anyway, um, all of those shows, right? That romanticize before everybody get married.
Yeah,
I think they're looking for that even before marriage when they first get married.
mhm.
Y'all, that's not what marriage is for.
No, it's
So let
not.
me ask you this. Do you feel like, and I want y'all opinion, that marriage has just been so romanticized and so the expectations are just false?
I think yes, I would say yes. I think a lot of people are still in like, they're expecting the honeymoon phase to be forever, because sometimes you're gonna wake up and you're gonna look at that person and be like, "Ugh," and then sometimes you're gonna wake up and look at the same person in the very next, day or 2 and be like, "Oh my god, I'm so grateful that God brought you into my life." Because one thing people don't realize is love, anger, hatred, regret, all those are emotions
And they change.
Mhm.
every single day. And sometimes you're going to look at someone and be like, okay, I just need you to do this. And if they don't do it, now you got a whole attitude, but you have to say, okay, I married this person because I love them. Even when they steal your food, you still marry them because you love them.
Mm.
But you know what I love about that is love is just not enough.
It's not.
And that's what I said about the romanticism.
Hmm.
Love doesn't make a marriage. So please speak on that because I know, tell everybody where you're from. And I love your perspective on marriages because I think in America, we become so Americanized. We bought into a lot of stuff.
Okay, thank you for having me. My name is Mashkur. I'm from Nigeria.
Okay.
Let me start from where you start saying marriage is not only about love, right? I say,
Right.
you see, it takes more than love to want to be in marriage. Maybe love is the first stage. I don't know what level is it, but if you're not committed, you're not going to be married. And a lot of problems we're having, people get into marriage at the wrong time with the wrong people. A lot of people, their life does not permit marriage when they go into marriage. A lot of people, marriage itself is a journey. A lot of people do not know all it takes on the journey. They do not have it with them.
Right.
So when they embark on the journey, in the middle of it, oh, I forgot my hammer, my nails. Oh, I forgot my spare tire. You getting my point?
Right.
I think that's one of the reasons. Another thing, I've talked about commitment. Let me talk about sacrifice.
Mm.
Mhm.
You have to be ready. You have to take something. There is no good thing in this world that you're gonna have that's not gonna take something else. Some took what they want before you have it. Some, after you have what you want, that's when the sacrifice is gonna come. You getting my point?
Well, let me say this, and I want to add this because a lot of people will look from the outside, say, "Yeah, he didn't sacrifice." So no, each individual has to make the sacrifice. So when you're not happy
Yeah,
at the moment, I'm not saying anybody beating on you or all of these things, none of the negative things, but
yeah.
simply your sacrifice is still
Okay,
making a commitment.
okay, yeah. Okay, for instance, I said sometimes ago, like, if you can live with your siblings and you have issues with your siblings and they get away with it, These are people you are from the same family, you are the same blood, and you expect a sister or a brother or your spouse that's coming from another family who grew up between like within another set of people, and you expect the person to come into your life and be 100% perfect. That's not going to happen. There's going to be occasional misunderstanding, and you should be ready to give the sacrifice. Okay, okay, slow down and let it go. Sometimes you just need patience. That's all it requires.
Ooh,
Yeah, and
patience. Wait,
patience,
hold on. Patience is what some people don't have.
right?
Mm.
But I think that patience is two things you said that are real critical: patience, but that commitment.
Mm.
That commitment is everything because in three words, let me add this one: sacrifice.
Yeah,
Those three things, if you have those three things, you're going to have a good relationship with your spouse,
yeah.
because nothing that you will embark on,
Mm.
all whatever you embark on, whether it's success, whether it's being a businessman, a businesswoman, if you want to become wealthy, whatever it may be, you have to have patience because it's not going to come overnight.
Absolutely.
You have to sacrifice something. Something is going to have to be sacrificed in order for you to get wherever it is that you're trying to get in whatever endeavor you're trying to do. And the most important one of them, you got to be committed,
Mhm.
because in a marriage, there are going to be pitfalls. I heard somebody on the panel say something about stealing somebody's food.
Mhm.
Ooh, don't I know
I
about
didn't know
that?
about that.
Oh
Ugh.
my
So,
gosh.
but it's not the big things that have that marriage go under. It's those little small things. So
Yes.
Yeah.
it's going to be patience, sacrifice, and commitment most of all that's going to get you through. And when you're committed, and you say, okay, it don't matter what it is, we getting through this thing.
Mhm.
Now the joys of life can happen because you know it's going to be something that comes up.
Yeah.
But are you committed enough to work through it, get through it, and get to the other side?
So, and let me add to this because I think this is something that most people miss. Um, I wish I would have had it earlier on in my marriage, right?
Me too.
Shut up. Okay, but no, seriously. Sometimes y'all are not going to agree. And like you said, you're going to hit those pitfalls. But I think what we forgot to do, and I want to share this because I think this will change a lot. No matter where we are, we have to remind each other while you're in the midst of it. Hey, I know we're not agreeing, but I'm here 100% with you. Don't you go nowhere. Because what happens a lot of times we stop talking, the mind start to going over here,
Mhm.
Mhm.
your mind going over here. We don't know what this going to be like. I'm not sure if he really the one. We go too far,
Mhm.
especially women, because we the emotional. We think a mile a minute.
Yeah.
Man upstairs, he ain't paying no attention. He knows it's gonna be all right for some. And so we have all these emotions. So men, seriously, but women, you need to do it too. Say, hey, babe, I know we not, I don't like you right now, but I love you and we're gonna make it through. And I think we need to remind each other that because we get so
Yeah.
distant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think when sacrifice come into play, it's not so much that you're giving up so much of
Mhm.
yourself. It's you have to sacrifice and get rid of the thoughts that you might have on how you want your marriage to go. Because when you're connected with someone else, you're connected with their past, you're connected with their path that they're going on in life. So a lot of things that you might feel like, well, I want my husband to do X, Y, and Z, he might not be feeling that way. And vice versa. So sometimes
Yeah.
you have to say to yourself, it's not my mama's marriage, it's not my daddy's marriage, not my grandmother's marriage.
Right.
It's our marriage. What's going to work for us?
Right.
That's where the sacrifice come in because now you're saying I'm giving up my thoughts on what I felt like this should look like
Right.
because we all have that vision, you know. I know as women we like, "Oh, I want this big white wedding and da 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 da." But once that is over with and you go home with that person, now you have to start sacrificing your thoughts on what you wanted a husband to be and he has to sacrifice his thoughts on what he wanted his wife to be so that y'all can form your union
Right. And let's talk about the
together.
union though, because I think again, people in there, I'm good.
Mm.
And some of y'all may be good, but you can be better.
Mhm.
Of course, with the right mate. So I want to talk about that. About the marriage is not so much just about the romance. It's great if you get it. Great that you love each other. But what about raising children?
Mm.
Now, you might be good all by yourself with your little lonely self walking around. And we're not saying be with someone who is not worthy or be with somebody to be unhappy. That's not what we're saying. But
Yes.
y'all go there. But opening back up to the idea that I want to be with someone more than you don't want to because of all of these things. Let's talk about, let's just talk about the companionship, first of all.
Mm.
And when you marry, the beauty in companionship. Rodney, let's, you know, you love being with me. Way to say it.
Mm.
No, but seriously, let's talk about seriously companionship. Simply, it is as simple as that is. How great is it to have someone with you every, and I'm not saying that y'all snuggle like this every day, but what is companionship like?
The good thing about companionship, because now coming up, I can be by myself and be okay. But there's nothing like when you come home, you facing the rigors of the world, you know, and when you turn that key in your door, and you know you have somebody on the other side of that door that's going to help shield you and guard you from what you went through out there. Somebody that you can, come home and you can laugh with, tell jokes to.
Share
Like Charmaine and I, we crack on each other all the time, about different things. We laugh a lot, which helps gets us through. And that was one of my prerequisites coming into, if I was going to marry somebody, they had to have certain things, So that companionship and knowing that that person is what you wanted, and that person that you can depend on, good times, bad times, whatever. It's nothing like that.
Yeah, because how y'all feel like going home by yourself?
Mm.
Now, I know some of y'all say it's peaceful. Okay, yeah. But
It's even more peaceful when you go home and you know you have somebody there. Like I said, you could just come home from work, you just and you like this
Mm-hmm.
because you just
You just need to keep unplugging the
Right.
things from work.
exactly. And then when you come in that door, that person, hey babe, how you doing? And is as bottled up and is you ready to explode, and that person just saying, hey babe, how was your day today?
Slows you down.
Oh my boy, see, ladies,
Mm-hmm.
y'all see, he
Mm-hmm.
didn't even know where I was going, but he answered exactly. It
Mm-hmm.
slows you down. Now your mind starts to,
Yeah.
now you get at ease just because that person said that one phrase. Hey
that's
babe,
true.
how'd your day go today? How you doing? You know,
Right. So what?
companionship.
Yeah, companionship is just big. Like there's nothing like somebody just being there. Nothing
Mhm.
big. Just stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Especially what you just said, going by history. Sorry, I have to go.
Yeah, that's all right.
When Adam was created, according to what I believe, he'd been in the paradise alone with the animals and all those sort of things. But nature keeps telling him, "Hey man, you're lonely." You getting my point? At some point,
Mm-hmm.
God created his wife, spouse for him. That's to show everybody from some certain age in your life, you shouldn't be living alone.
Right.
Mm.
For the rest of your life, the moment you're old enough to have the other side of you, the only work you got to do is find who
Right.
is the concluding part of my being. That is one. Secondly, you mentioned something, somebody saying, hey, hello. Another thing you got to know is not about anybody saying hello. For a lady to say, hey, hello, the voice is not ordinary. There's a lot of spiritual things that goes out with the voice and go into your head. It has to unplug some things. Only if you have issues, it may
Right.
not mean nothing to you. You're getting my point.
Right.
But a man can be like, hey, how you doing? It's still a continuation of what you bring him from work.
Mm-hmm.
But if your spouse say, hey, baby, your head's gonna like, from 100 to 0. Let me refresh. Now I start all over. You getting my point?
Right.
So it's naturally, we're not supposed to be living alone. The two genders would need to be together.
Yes.
It's just a question of, okay, who is my concluding part?
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah. And y'all, again, it is so important. I'm gonna tell you one of the things that I love. Like you said, Rodney doesn't have to be anywhere near me. He could be downstairs watching a game. I can be upstairs watching Netflix, but the feeling that he's here
It makes you feel whole.
makes me feel good. When I hear his car drive up in the driveway.
Mm.
Y'all, we've been married for 25 years. And
Mhm.
believe me, I'm not one of those needy. Well, some of y'all need. I don't need nothing. Y'all have no idea who I am. I like it.
I love it.
It's a blessing.
It
Mhm.
makes you feel safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Having somebody when I can't get a girlfriend to go nowhere, I can always, me and my husband can always hop in a car and go anywhere.
Mhm.
We can sit at the table and play domino.
I was just getting ready to bring that up. We do it often.
Right.
We sitting around, we bored or whatever it may be. We don't have to be bored.
Get me
We
right.
can
You're
get
gonna,
those
you're gonna
dominoes.
live long like that.
We're gonna get the cards. We're gonna play 2-hand spades. We're gonna do whatever. We'll even gamble together. We'll get some pennies.
We do.
And those pennies will be dollars, but
And I be wanting my money back.
and I don't give it back.
He don't.
But again, that's one of the beauties of marriage. You can't come home if you by yourself and do that. Are you gonna play 2-hand spades by yourself?
And I want to say this too, though, because I want y'all to get this. No, seriously. I want for those of you who are single, and we're not trying to make y'all feel bad, any of that. What we're just saying is, don't get so disgruntled that you start tossing the idea aside like it's not important. Having a husband or a wife is just more important than anything because it's a thing that you say you're going to do for the rest of your life. When your degree, you're no longer using your degree. When your kids are grown, when your mom and dad have passed, all of these things, your mate is the thing.
And Charmaine, I think it's important that we're talking about this because most of the time, when people talking about marriage, it's always the negative
Right.
portion of it. They never we never hear anybody talking about the beauty of marriage. Oh man, are you gonna have some issues even when you're married, even great marriages? Yeah,
Yes.
but we always talk about that negative part. Oh, he didn't come home, or he was 2 hours late, or his feet stink. It if we the thing you talk about the most
Is the thing.
is the thing you're going to get.
And the thing that amplifies too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because coming from a divorce side and then getting remarried, it is beautiful to feel like my man is home. Like I don't know how to say
that
it. It
smile
just
on her
feels
face. You see that?
it's beautiful. Beautiful. It's beautiful to know like I have someone that is for me,
Mm-hmm.
that is committed to me. And even if I'm just emotional, or even if I'm irrational, or even if I'm just calm and peaceful, he's for me.
Right.
And it feels good to be able to say that, no matter what, I can call my husband and he gonna make it work,
He gonna come get me.
He
I don't
gonna
have
come
to
get
call
me.
Triple A.
PTO.
Yeah. Yeah. When we met, I knew I loved this man because when we met, he had like 80 hours of PPTO.
Oh.
He had none. He was using that to come and see me,
Mm.
but it's just, and that was the sacrifice. Like he gave up all his vacation to
And don't you dare tell me I'm ready to go on a vacation. I used it all.
Yeah, he's like, I used it all.
That's another sacrifice right there.
Right.
Right there.
But I love that.
Yeah, and then the commitment comes when like when you're going through different seasons, because you guys been married what, 20 plus years?
Yeah.
So you done seen
Mhm.
each other through different phases.
Yeah.
Whether it's money, whether it's a loss, whether
Yeah.
it's like the commitment of someone just being there for you, that is saying, I'm not gonna give up.
Absolutely. And I just, y'all, don't lose that. With all the BS and all the reels and all of that, y'all, marriage is a beautiful thing, right? And all I'm just saying is don't make it secondary. I'm not saying be married just to be married. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not that caliber person. I'm from Baltimore. I didn't even really see married people. So that's not my thing. What I'm saying is now that I'm here, it is one of the most beautiful things. Me and this man have 16 grandchildren. We've raised 6 kids. We've been on vacation. We've seen loss. My mother, his mother and father. We have family. We have all of these things that make it beautiful. Is it beautiful every day? Do we not get on each other's nerves? Yes, we do.
You don't get on my nerves.
I don't.
No.
Well, you get on my no, but seriously, Y'all don't forfeit this
Mm.
or keep going home by yourself. You don't even have nobody to zip your dress up in the bag. How y'all zip your dress up anyway? But anyway, okay, because that was my thing. Somebody bringing the groceries in,
Mhm.
being able to put your feet on somebody at night, because my feet are always cold.
See, that's the part of marriage that, that's the bad part. You got a wife with cold feet and you get in the bed, yeah, you want to leave her every night.
Right.
Mm.
I'm trying to tell y'all, those are the simple things.
It's the simple, yeah. And like you said earlier, it's not the big stuff because
Yeah.
that break you up. It's the small stuff, But if you can go to work with someone who you don't like, if you can work for somebody that you don't like, if you can deal with people every day because they're giving you $1 that you don't like, why won't we give that same grace to ourselves and to our spouse?
Right. And let's talk about the children. Because the other thing, I want y'all to understand this. You might be okay, but are your children okay? I do everything, huh? My kid don't need for nothing. You ain't listening. And I'm saying if the shoe fit, wear it. This is something for you to dig into inside yourself. I'm not beating up on anybody. Because marriage, by God's design, was not just about you liking and loving somebody every day. It was also about raising children.
Mhm.
So that sacrifice sometime, and I'm not saying go marry a man so your children got a dad. Don't go there because that's not what I'm saying, because I know what y'all will do. I'm saying in order for kids to really have a great chance of being healthy,
And
they
whole.
get to and whole, they get to see love. They get to
Yeah.
see a man and a woman loving on each other, right?
Yeah.
They get to see how to be a dad. You can't, most people emulate what they see or they go totally against it, right? So what we're saying is give them something good to emulate.
Mhm.
And I'm not beating up on the people who decide not to do because I know some people gonna get in their little feelings on it.
Yeah.
Not what I'm saying. I'm saying just take it in consideration and whatever you come up with is your business. But I want you to take your kids into consideration. How do you feel about a man being in the house for children?
Well, I'm happy you said man. You didn't say boy. You didn't say nothing else. It takes to be properly raised and you rebrand yourself to be a man. Because when you were living with your parent, that's a way the world looks like back then. And the world we live now has changed.
Yes.
You need to rebrand yourself to be a man. You see, if a man is in the house to play the father figure, I don't think the mother alone can do that. It doesn't matter how much you make.
Right?
You're gonna be stressful your whole life. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Because the feeling, it has to do with the mindset. When the kid knows there's a man in the house, the father figure, you may be sleeping, you may be in bed, you may not pay no attention to them. The moment they know your existence in the house, they behave compared to when only the mama is in there.
Right.
It doesn't matter if the mama is get out, you know. They know they can mess with the mom and get away with it.
Absolutely.
The father can look from you like, what you doing? You know, you getting my point. That's a big difference.
Yes.
And tell me, if a kid misses this when he or she is supposed to have it, don't get me wrong, the future is gonna be like,
Little shaky,
you know,
little maybe, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he's only speaking from experience because when we met, I had children. So when he came into the house, it was kind of like I got divorced. So they saw that type of a man, if that makes sense,
Right.
and how he relates to them and how he raised things. But then when he came into our life, it was like there was a shift in the atmosphere, like literally, because the kids would just like walk into the room, mama, get on the bed, be all up in my stuff. But as a woman, it wasn't bothering me because I'm a mom. It didn't bother me. But for him, he was like, oh, no, 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 no. If I want to walk around here naked, this is our room.
Right.
So he said, now I want y'all to knock. And the kids wasn't open to that. They wasn't feeling that. They was like, oh, no, this is my mama room. He was like, no, this is our room.
Right.
And then came to the point to where he was like, if you don't knock, I'm gonna change the lock on the door. You have no other choice but to lock. We had one of them locks where you can just pick it, just
Right,
like,
right.
and the kids would pick it. They didn't matter. When you are a mother and you're loving and you're providing, there are some areas in which you're going to be lacking.
Absolutely.
And we have to be honest with ourselves and say that, and
Yeah.
I knew I was lacking in the area of I need to bring a level of structure. You can have your kids on a plan, on a schedule. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about structure to the point to where I got a backup partner.
Mm-hmm.
If I say go do something and they don't do it, he come in. What did your mama say? I can have my 3-year-old. She could be crying for no reason. I don't know what problems a 3-year-old have, but she got problems. you know. But she can be crying for no reason, and I'd be like, "Why are you crying?" And she's just crying and crying and crying. As soon as he steps up, he's never put his hands on none of the kids. He's never raised his voice above the level that he talks now. But as soon as the presence of a man in that house, my 3-year-old, she's like, Abu, my tablet is dead. You've been doing all that screaming because your iPad died,
Right.
But from women, we get so like, oh my God, my child, my child, my child.
Right.
But for men, they bring it down. And it's up to the man to set that tone in the house. And when they set that tone, it changes everything for your
And
marriage.
so
for your
listen,
home.
and it's for you, ladies. This is what I'm saying. That's for you.
Mm.
That's for you to have that partner in that so that you don't have to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
I do just fine.
Yes.
But do you want to do
It's exhausting.
everything?
And you're doing just fine, but you're not doing enough because you can't
Yeah.
do what he
Amazing.
does.
And this
The
is not
3-year-old cried for hours.
Yes. She can cry for
3-year
hours.
the 3-year-old shut up once he made a statement. That's the power of having a father around. And again, we're not telling you to stay because of that. Like my mother and father, growing up in the house with both of them, I know my father. And anybody that know me and know James Earl Graham, he got on Betty Graham's nerve all day, every day. But he was one hell of a dude. So she was able to put up with it, with the things, that the person he was. She knew the person he was,
Right.
and it was okay. But him being in that house for me and my brother, if he wasn't there, growing up in Baltimore City,
you be in the street.
I wouldn't be sitting right here right now. Because Baltimore City will eat you alive. Especially as I was growing up, and I knew that with him in the house, it was certain things I could not do. I couldn't get caught doing certain things. My father told me if you go to jail for defending your brother, defending your mother, I got you back 100%. He also then said, if you go to jail for some stupid stuff, for stealing cars or whatever, he said, you're on your own. And I knew that was his word, and I knew he meant it. So I could not go to jail for stealing the car because I was going to be locked up.
Right.
You understand? So it's just that word of a man, like you
Right.
said, that will have a kid go a different route.
Right. And they know what they can do and they play both because the
Mhm.
same way with us. I'm the one, they're going to ask me for everything because I'm a softie and I'm going to give it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, ladies, let me tell you what I started doing. I started doing this. Ask your dad. Never mind.
Every time.
Everyone. This is what I'm saying. This is the beauty of
Having a partner.
having that partner, man. I mean,
And yes, we can do a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, we can do a lot. I'm a mom. I'm gonna have 6 kids, but I'm also a wife. And I'm also to the point in my life when I married my husband, he said to me, "You don't have a life." And I was like, "Yes, I do." He's like, "No, you don't." He's like, "You go to work, you come home, and it's the kids." He was like, "You don't do nothing." And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm doing a lot. Like I'm doing a lot. Like I'm working, I'm paying bills, I'm taking care of the kids. But I didn't have anything that I could say I didn't have peace. And I know a lot of times we think we do, but there's a different level that a man brings into your life that is peaceful. And when I say peace, I mean now I can literally go take a nap and the kids will not bother me. I can literally come home and I can say do something and I have someone that's going to be making sure that it gets done. Because as a woman, my job is to build the character of the children, but as a man, his job is to set that foundation, give that discipline to them. Because if they don't have discipline and
Yeah.
compassion from the mother, then they're gonna be either tough and hard,
Right.
or they're gonna be really soft, you
And
know?
it goes back to something that you said about you really have to, and so many people on the show talked about you have to look at the examples that your person had.
Mhm.
It is hard to do something that you really haven't seen. And I'm not just talking about on TV. So some people have the desire to, but they don't have the instructions to. They don't have the pathway to. So, ladies, when you are looking for or opening yourself up to someone, look at their family history.
Yeah.
See if they talk. And I'm not saying a man who didn't have a dad, that's not his fault.
Mm.
But what we're saying is you have to dig a little deeper. Does he even have a desire? Does he know how to do these things? Don't marry him and then get mad because he don't know how.
Right.
I can't know what I haven't been taught.
Right.
And that's happening a lot
Mhm.
for our young men because a man, you have a man in the house, he changing the tires, he doing the manly things. Your son learns that
Mhm.
innately. It's not because you scheduled a class. He just learns that innately. So now what we have is a demographics of young men who grew up without seeing fathers, and they don't know how to do any of these things. And so now, how good of a husband are they in those arenas?
Right.
A man is not going to feel fully manly when his family has a need and he can't simply do the simple things. And I'm really big on taking the classes, so we'll talk about that later. But I think the young men should have a class to give them those basics. Just because they don't have a dad, it's not their fault. But we have to make sure that they're still getting the tools to be one. You need to know how to tighten up the door now, hand.
Mhm.
And, you know, another thing that the beauty of marriage is again having that partner, having that companion. You know that when we first got married, and you know, S- Charmaine was the one that stayed home. I went out and worked, but with me going out slaying the dragon every day, it allowed her to be able to do other things, come up with different ideas, and she had 893 businesses. Um, 762 of them failed, but she was able to go and do some other ones because I didn't limit her just, oh, you just raised the kids. It gave her that freedom to be able to do some other things.
Yeah.
Starting a frozen cup stand in December.
Rodney, shut up. I didn't do that, y'all.
But you get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of marriage, because you have that person now that you guys have the freedom together to make a decision to say, okay, this direction we're gonna go in, and that one person, if it's the one person's desire to do a certain thing, you know, hey, I got you. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of.
The support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
support. And I think one of the things is when you have that partner, because marriage to me is more than just marriage, it's a partnership.
Hmm.
When you have that partner that is gonna cheer you on, because I feel like whether my husband succeed or fail, I'm gonna benefit. I'm gonna be the one person that benefits from it. We have children, but our children are gonna grow up. They're gonna live their own lives. They probably gonna even disappoint us at some point in time, you know. But to have that partner that is gonna, like you said, let them do whatever they want to do, be that support. And then if it works out, then great. Let's go take a trip. If it
Right.
don't, then let's find something else to do.
Right.
Yeah, we were good at that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell y'all this one because I've been an entrepreneur. I promise. It seemed like once I hit 20, I was just on it. And it came a point in our marriage because we had 6 children total. We have 6 children total. Where one of us needed to stay home and take care of the kids. Lord, I didn't want it to be me. Don't nobody pay me for this. I don't want to be here with these children, right? Because I was a make things
Yeah,
happen person.
yeah,
But what I did know was we could not, between the two of us, make enough money to fix broke children.
Mhm.
yes,
So somebody had to stay home. Didn't like it in the beginning, but one thing I can say I'm thankful for that because I had a partner, I was able to stay home and make sure homework and stuff was done to make sure we had people running in and out of our houses because, they were at that age. That's the beauty. Y'all, and it changes. It
Mhm.
switches. Being from 20 for 25 years, there's some things that he done that he really put us in a good position. There were some things that I did that I put us in a good position, but it switched. And what happens is sometimes we get mad because you got to go first,
Mhm.
especially women. Men don't mind going first. Women, we get mad when we got to go first. Shake your head, yes.
It's
Right,
just your time,
right.
and that's
And
the
it's your time.
commitment.
Right. But I will say for men, try to make yourself go first. And I'm just going to tell you why. Because women, we are the weaker sex. Not because we dumb or we slow or they're above us. Our emotions will keep us so out of sync. Our households out of sync. Our decisions out of sync. And we move too fast. We go too fast. And so that's why I say that. And so you need a man to kind of hold you up a
Slow
little bit, but you got to
down.
get one that you respect.
I mean, and you just said something about men. Make sure you go first. It's and that's in everything. And it's the small. Remember, I said before, it's the small things. Like
Right.
I had to break Charmaine out of coming in the house first, right? When we open the door, you don't go first because if somebody on the other side of that door don't belong in that house, what you gonna do? Let me go first, right? And if somebody on the other side of that door, you can run or we can bank them. That's what we do in Baltimore. We bank. You know what I mean? But again, it's things like that where if you have if you by yourself, you gotta go in the house by yourself. And if somebody on the other side of that door, guess what? But with that mate, y'all went out, y'all had a great time. Y'all went and saw who did we just go see?
Raheem
Right,
Devon.
y'all go see Raheem Devon and great time. And then you come in the house and somebody's in there, and I'm going in that door first, right? Because I'm gonna protect you. I'm gonna make sure you okay. Once I go in, I make sure everything is good. Now you come on in and let's enjoy the rest of our evening. Small things.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the
Small things.
covering. It's the
Yeah.
covering and the
Right.
protection because when you think about it as a woman, if when I was single, I had my girlfriends. Now my girlfriends was available to me whether they had a man or not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because ain't nobody finna put you before they man, you know? But just being able to just like, okay, I have this problem that I need to figure out or da 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 da. Me having a husband now who done seen me without the wigs, without the makeup,
That's that companionship, girl. That's that
with the
companionship.
body fat, with
That's
the stretch
that's
marks, with
prayer,
all
y'all.
of the
That's prayer.
unflattering things that everybody else out here in this world has seen. But he can sit there and still call me beautiful. He can sit there and still just talk to me and just allow me to be in a space that is vulnerable. And I still feel protected because I have girlfriends, but I don't have any girlfriend that I feel that I can let all of that hang out and just be vulnerable to the point to where they are not going to make me feel like I need to, I might not need to, I need to leave this piece out. I need to leave that piece
Right.
out. But my husband, he's gonna cover me and he's gonna protect me and he's gonna make me feel like, okay, baby, it's all right. Yeah, you should have did that. But all right, I got you. What we gonna do now?
Mhm.
Because like you said, we'll get emotional and we'll get to a stopping point. My husband's gonna be like, all right, it happened. Let's go.
Right.
Deal with it.
Mhm.
And just to have that companionship, that partnership, that protection, that
Right.
love, that respect.
Right. And we're saying don't be in the toxic one. Because
Yeah.
now there's some people that get together, and I'm gonna tell you, if y'all put y'all two together and rub it together and y'all ain't worth a penny, and I'm not just talking about money, I'm just talking about your relationship period, toss it. Start over. Because what I'm saying is, don't, I'm tired of this. No, you be tired of making incorrect
Mhm.
decisions, right? Choosing the wrong people for the wrong thing. But don't be tired of trying.
Yeah.
Don't be tired, but try when it's time to try. Try with the right person is the key. But y'all, that's what we just wanted to bring those things. Y'all, think about getting married and don't just think about it. Make it more of a priority for more than just love. Don't keep talking about, I like them, but all this good stuff about the person. Now you can't make yourself like somebody. So if you don't like them, but don't get so picky. You mad because he got a fat chin, or he might not be tall enough. And I know, I know. 5'5" is really short. I get it. But I'm just saying, it's
Ain't,
bigger fish to
ain't
fry.
nothing he can do about that.
Right. It's bigger fish to fry. So y'all, hey, we just wanted to say, let's get back to some married things. Don't give up. Don't stay in the negative corner about relationships and marriage, right? Think about all the positive things and start willing. Y'all manifesting everything else.
Mhm.
Manifest that. Work on
A happy
manifesting that.
home,
Yes, a happy
healthy
home.
children.
Absolutely. Because that's what it's about. That's how you leave legacy. You can leave a whole bunch of money, but if you're leaving it to some broke kids,
Or broken kids.
broken
Broken
kids,
kids,
and that's what I
yeah.
mean, not even broke
Yeah.
financially, broken kids, the legacy, everything you work for is not. All right, y'all, we out of here. We love y'all though. Talk to y'all next time.
See ya.